We are finally back from our hiatus of closer to like 2 months. I've been away from map making, and here we are in DE Starfort version. Who knows? T-spawn. Let's start with the whole reason I kind of lost my drive for the whole map. I've been like outside of just map making, I've been very busy with work. I'm very busy with skateboarding, real life stuff. And the whole map thing, I was kind of hyper fixated on the wrong things. And what do I mean by that? I was trying to make already kind of a simple map even more simpler with trying to tweak the wrong thing. So I thought that the map was like super complicated. Players weren't really getting the dynamics that I wanted for them to instantaneously grasp, and I was impatient with giving the players some time, and as a map maker you have to acknowledge the fact that players are always like infinitely more impatient with the map than you are with them when you're gathering data. Map making takes a long time. It takes years for map to even fulfill its full potential. I think for maps like Dust 2, it has kind of run its course, but for maps like Nuke, which is almost as old, Nuke still has a lot of dynamics that could be went over and really, it has some potential, unlocked potential within the layout. So I think truly we'll never know how much utility you might get out of an old map that's seemingly already driven to the ground. And even with the new smokes, like for example, Dust 2 Long had a very kind of a stale meta to it. You get the smoke down on the doors as a CT, and then you just cover that, get CT control get long control as a CT, and now you can control the rotations around the mid and B. B was just kind of a third option after mid and long anyway. So now with the smokes, you can breach the smoke and contest the angle again. That might breathe some fresh air into Dust 2, and it definitely has. So with that in mind, again, new game, new mechanics. We can expect for maps to live way longer now, maybe for 40 years. Maybe Anubis will be played after 50 years from now. Who knows? The changes in my map. So also when it comes to the hyperfixation on specific ideas, I definitely some of the things that I failed to make the player grasp from the get-go was how to play mid. And I didn't really give many tools for the CTs to get some actual control over middle. So now I hope that within these same utils, smoking that up, pushing this, mulling this, controlling this whole jumping up bit, here. I hope that these will be as obvious as they were in the older versions. Now you can employ some control over this pit area. Get to covering that. You have more angles over in the short area, and now you have also more angles down in the bottom mid to B connector kind of thing. There's a new box that you can have multiple angles around. You can boost on top of it to control that. It's gonna be very fun when the smokes land over here and players will be shooting over the smokes. There's a very safe retreated back position over here that seemingly, looking at the pathing now, I should have done this from the first version. Some of the original playtesters of the older versions might remember a surf down here, that they would surf down and then take a right and left, and you would come up from a position like this, and there would be a super powerful pit angle to mid. So yeah, it's been replaced with this. Also, this has nicer deviation of control points, how the angles are split between an area. So there's one on the left, one right, one left, one right, you know, on the base, and then there was one left on the one right on the upper layer of the middle. So I think that that distribution of interest points is nicer. Areas I've taken care of are mollyable with one molly, right? And also, like, when you imagine of the full, like, T-side utility, like the perfect round, you know, you only have so many Molotovs to throw around. So you really have to think of how many positions, how many strong positions do you want to have in your map that need to be mollied out. You know, I can name already like quite a few that are in my map and that I probably have to nerf. But yeah, we'll get to those later. What has changed? Well, the B-bomb side has changed quite a lot, and now looking at this is I got told that it looks like the first version of this map, which was called DE Flagstone, that had the cool like matriculations and the battlements at the tops of a castle. It was like pretty much inspired by Middle European or like Southern European castles and Berserk series, you know. It's like a very, very castle-y map. But yeah, we used to have a long, this used to be like the same sort of same like long angle from up here down all the way to main. But yeah, it's cool how the idea does like a perfect circle. You know, you start from a simple idea like this, and then you iterate on it, and then you play this like complex ideas, and then after some time you take a breather from the map, and then you just end up at the same idea. And I think the same idea, the same good old trusty idea, is probably safer to go and probably better to iterate on. Yeah, I hope that this area is going to be playing like Dust 2's long. Imagine of, you know, CT's getting first peak, establishing some control over there. Long is such an important position in Dust 2. When you get it under control, you can then control CT rotations from it. You can duke it, you know, duke back your rotation to top mid. You can contest short from it, and you can split A. And the B-bomb side on Dust 2, I think Dust 2 is getting a little bit stale. Has been getting for over 10 years now. And we've, you know, with CS2, what I said earlier is that, you know, with the utility, we're definitely getting some new breath of fresh air into the old dusty maps, right? But yeah, there are still core dynamics that are so well implemented in that map that, you know, can work somewhere else. Definitely here. So yeah, you can control the rotation from the T side if you establish your control over CT in here, right? This is like your Dust 2 long doors, these two arches over here. And I want for the control to be hard for the CTs to be, you know, getting it. So if the CTs get to smoke this, they create some space over here, which allows them to take a more chillax positioning around the middle over here. You know, you don't have to be worrying about T's getting long and being like outside of the B-bomb side over here and then pushing. So yeah, I think that's going to be nice for the players to really trying to figure out like good utility setups. Here is a little oversight. I actually kind of like this. You can molly straight into the both of the arches, depending on the molly. But that's kind of a perfect molly. You can get out of it, but you're going to take some damage as a T. And with timings, how they work out, I want to see if that is too powerful. But yeah, it's going to be hilarious if it just ends up that like terrorists cannot contest like B-bomb side at all. But yeah, we'll see. You can counter it with, you have the time to, you know, bounce a smoke like that, and then you can get out of it very easily. But yeah, we'll see. I'm very excited to see how that works, and also you get the angles to peek over the smoke anyway. B-bomb side also has this little pit. I was showing it to a couple people earlier. Yeah, you can crouch from the main and be covered from the deep heaven. CT positioning is going to probably be like over here that you can cover the angle. Deep heaven, I don't think it's going to be like that good of a position anyway. You're going to be ending up holding 2 angles over here, and then these are able to like peek from over here. I might make this so tall, this box so tall anyway, that you kind of have to like play close or on top of it or around it like this. Yeah, I think it's a good, like, it splits up the positioning quite nicely. And then even if it was like, if I make it like higher, now this like playing from inside deep heaven here, you know, you are actually forced to be peeking 2 angles. So yeah, might be actually kind of wise to make that change. When it comes to angles, there's going to be hedged angles here. Very powerful. If you crouch, it's powerful, but you're gonna get stuck. So I think terrorist util, you want to be smoking close, like so. And then with this smoke, you can create some space and actually peek around it, and then push into the pit area, and then establish control here before you get, before you establish control over here. So it's going to be very interesting how, if a T gets to, get past, they might be able to like get some CT kills on the bomb side from like, pretty much flank position. There's going to be a T peeking you from there. Yeah. And B bomb site definitely is going to be one of those bomb sites, probably, that you play on the bomb side more than outside of it. A, I think, is going to be one of those that this like orange flooring, there's going to be some gameplay on it. Maybe like after plant terrorist position. But like this is going to be very much contested later on. Let's get to the A later. I want to show this pretty thoroughly. But yeah, and this heaven might look kind of wide, and it is, because these, as said, this smoke over here might be kind of detrimental for the CTs, so they have to like, utilize the whole space. I want to see what the lack of cover, lack of positioning, or lack of hard positioning will do to the players. Like, where do they position? I think I was already like speculating on this yesterday in a private voice call. How I think this upper area, this like strip, is going to be super powerful for after plants, for T's, just like holding it, in the middle of nowhere, out in the open, kind of like just duking it out. Yeah, as you have to like kind of clear it like that, expose yourself. But yeah, it's meant to be powerful. Connector as well. You can use the ramp to clear that position. Get some headshot angles down to main. And there's a cool smoke over here. You can smoke that. Look at that. Perfect. And throwing it, you could probably actually middle throw it from here. Oh yeah, you can. That's so cool. Huh. Goddamn. Okay. So yeah, I think this whole idea is going to be kind of fun. This pit might not be that powerful as it seems. You can molly it out very easily. Damn, there's so much to go over. Yeah, middle. Can't even remember if I went over this already. Middle utility. For CTs, this was utilized quite heavily. And then you can like cover a connector. Terrorists were pushing up and boosting on top of this quite a lot. There's a more deeper angle now for now down there. You can stand on this to get counter angles. I don't know how you're going to get there as a CT, but I guess just like jumping over here, you're gonna make so much noise. But I think that's gonna be fun. I'll try to keep the timings the same way as, CTs get this whole area first, and then within like 11 seconds they can like peek from here down to mid. T's get this angle first though. So yeah, and I think it truly played in such a unique way, as CTs or like T's were getting like so distracted by the terrorists or CTs. Excuse me, what? Terrorists here were getting distracted by the CTs down here so much that it created nice pacing for this CT player to like, you know, end up at here to contest the CTs still, the terrorists still down there. So yeah, and Counter-Strike, you know, you test these maps and on a face value, it might look like a timing might look like super quick on paper, but then you get to playing it and it's like, oh, I actually have so much time to, you know, to line up something, because the perfect timings rarely come to play. Let's get to the indoor area. So yeah, the heaven space. There's a ladder to get down to the lower. So this rotation is very fast. I might even have to make it like faster. And there are a lot of areas in the map that are like kind of big. I probably have to make this whole area smaller. This is like good scale. This is probably too big. This is probably too big. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is probably too big. This is probably too big. Mid is a little bit too wide, I think. Middle is also like a little bit too long. This is a little bit too wide. And I really want to make these areas smaller and make the whole map a little bit smaller so that players can like experience more close-up fights. SMGs will get more play. Shotguns will get more play. You know, just have more fun overall. Yeah, that's how you say it. One of the major dynamics that I really enjoyed from the map, from the older versions, was that you could do this kind of a waterfall strat and end up at B very fucking quickly. I think that was super cool. It's actually like I haven't adjusted the timings at all, so we'll see how long does it take to actually do it right now. And I'm going to make these timings way shorter, but it's going to be like 9 seconds over there. 12, 13. That's too fast anyway. So T-spawn is going to get pushed way back. And I'm going to adjust this timing as well. But yeah, we have the old bridge. There's going to be a ferry over here from the real life. Already a house. Very nice, very nice. Suomenlinna is such a cool location. Like you get these like fortresses built from like 1700s, and then you get like these newer like brick buildings and like way newer built wooden buildings, and then you have like a wooden what do you call it, an industrial dock, and then some machinery, and like, you know, it merges with the old fortification stuff, you know. It's gonna be so cool. But yeah, city spawn, I've managed to keep the same form. I'm thinking of adding another jump over here so that you can like skill jump over on a ledge. We were discussing a ladder here, and I think the ladder thing is gonna be making it kind of like too obvious. I want it to be like kind of a secret-y thing, and kind of a like more of a fun little thing. If you know, you know. You know, because you're gonna be saving, you know, not that much time, but still getting. Actually, with that in mind, you're gonna be saving quite a lot of time if you nail the jump, but it's gonna be so risky. I might make just like an E-box, electrical box over here with some like wires coming up, and then, you know, cable. The same sort of utility I really liked from the old version. You could boost up onto the bridge. Now you don't have to boost, you can do that by yourself. And then throw some mollies over into areas like this. This molly was like super powerful. You can establish like an actual control over here. And we'll see if players end up using smokes like this to cover their cross over to B-side bridge. And I really would be amazed if there was a dynamic. It would be so cool if two counter-terrorist players, like one was somehow landing a smoke over here and then flashing his way from here over mid to end up over here, and at the same time, another CT bounces a molly. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Goddamn. Yeah, at the same time, another CT would be bouncing a molly over here and taking long control. And now you take B from B side, and then you take mid, like the B connector from A side. And then it would have 2 players down here and 1 in A. That would be so cool. Yeah, there's just so many possibilities with this map. A couple of things I'm still kind of worried is that this rotation is going to be too long, but how players were kind of like you don't have the connector here anymore. Actually, I should talk about it next. So yeah, you don't have the connector here anymore. There used to be a balcony over here overlooking this, and I think the angle was just not good. So the angle was moved over there, and there used to be like a roof to get up onto the position over here. So yeah, I merged that idea and this entrance back here that used to be like pretty much over here with the stairs. I merged those two together into this one more unique entrance to the bomb site. I think this is going to be so cool. I've never really seen this anywhere else in another map. Just so cool. And then to get like, you know, map making at the end of the day is like you experiment. It's most rewarding when you make something completely different. Then you get to play test it, and then it actually works, and you get a dynamic that's completely its own thing. I know it's kind of like obvious to say that, but you know, so many maps have dynamics that, you know, look like something else from another map. But you know, dynamics also, like, you know, you could change a small thing from Mirage, and that might change something else in it, and that might make it like completely different. So keep that in mind as well. And then I think there's a value in looking at like iterating on older ideas and really like looking what went wrong with one idea. You know, like for example, Inferno right now, I think people are criticizing it in a wrong way. Inferno right now, I think it's a little bit too enclosed. The banana part, which, you know, is one of the most important things from the map control. But yeah, so like if you would change a window or an angle in banana or in like lower mid, you know, and make a new map based around that, you know, it might still be, there might be some value to get out of that. Obviously, we don't want to have 2 different versions of Inferno with like smallest changes, but yeah, you know what I mean. A bomb site. Anyway, this is heaven. I actually already went over this. Stairs. You get this nice ability to retake from here. This is a jump. Very easy jump. CT spawn over here, and then you just like you jump over here, and you get a couple seconds faster timing the short. Yeah, that's about it. You have this pillar. These angles were changed to be way simpler. You have as a CT or as a T, you know, you have this angle, and then you have this angle, and then there's going to be double angle, like one deep angle down over there and one deep angle over there. Less deep, I guess. So yeah, this area is like a little bit more open. I think we'll play nice in a more nicer way with that. Also, the utility from utility side, if we're talking about that a little bit, I found that you can molly this whole area up from here, which is so cool. Just jump throw, aiming at the wall. It's going to land over here. You can take this area under control, and then also, oh my god, imagine. I don't think that's going to be doable. I was trying to land the molly here. I don't think that's doable. It's too long of a run. Maybe with a jump throw, like boosted jump throw. Maybe. Anyway, it's like theory crafting util. It's so much fun. Yeah, and I think this tower will be useful. Lining up some stuff like that. I don't know where this is gonna land. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Short smoke? Okay. Interesting. Let's try another one. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so yeah, let's go over this whole dynamic. So now the blue boat, is going to give you two angles. An angle down there, which is going to be kind of a nice safe position for CTs to peek. I'm going to be extruding this a little bit more so you can actually, you know, have a little bit more space here. It's also going to be looking way nicer. And then from inside, you're going to have more close up of an angle, which is nice. You can play this whole indoors area with any gun pretty much you wish to be using. Yeah, but from the last version to this one, I think one of the greatest changes is actually utilizing these two angles for different things. They used to both kind of like peak the same angle, and this was just like so ass to deal with. And also from like pacing side of things, there used to be like this issue of CTs like kind of having to bounce between these two angles, and this CT was like getting worked to death. And it was a whole mess. It didn't feel like a good Counter-Strike. Did we went over this whole dynamic? So yeah, the cool thing with this dynamic is you can play lower as a CT. You know, control this, trying to get like, especially on ecos, you could stack like 5-stack this under, and then try to get a pick from here with like different CT positions, like one playing from here. One playing close here, one playing here, two playing from here with deagles, and you just try to establish some sort of a lower control, and then the T's get the upper, you know. But now as a CT, you give up the whole rotation, so now they can just like end up rotating away, which is so cool. I've been able to maintain this like whole snake that runs through the map sort of thing. Snake platform. I think that's so nice. And then also you can completely, you know, rely on your utility and your retake ability on an eco if you know that the T's are going to be on eco. For example, like a third round after they force, you know, you don't have to put anyone in the lower. You can just like play upper, have two people play like from here, like one here, one short, one back CT playing rotation, and then you give up the whole lower part, wait for a plant, and just like go in, or just like cover this angle. You know, this is so much cool stuff here. I'm excited to play this, and there's probably going to be a lot of jank. Ugh. Sorry, I'm stretching. I think the biggest issue of the map is, pun not intended, the map is quite large. There's quite a lot of dead space. Like all these areas could be made like 32 units smaller. Like for example here, I could take that much off. But it's just about me like going over the map, adjusting all these things. It takes time. It's so tedious. If I was a better map maker, I would have made it perfect scale. But no one's perfect. Scale is subjective. No, it's not. Okay, I think I'm starting to waffle on too much. I'll leave the rest of thinking. I was just trying to bend the word thinking into past tense. Anyway, I'm going to leave the rest of the work of thinking and theory crafting to you. See you on the playing field. See you in mapping. See you in the playlist. See you in the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching, first and foremost. And happy mapping. I hope I didn't forget anything. This was a long video to kind of spitball. Anyway, playtest coming soon. Look at this cool window. Look at this cool house. Alright. Thank you. Bye-bye.